Okay, today we're doing kind of an experiment. I've been thinking about this now, and what I want to do is a double mica shift with a controlled Mokume. What I had in mind was doing the mica shift like the snails, and then doing controlled Mokume on top of that. And there should be a mica shift in this as well as just this. Now this here is Cernit metallic rust, and I have this rolled out on a number 5. I put it through my pasta machine numerous times, so all the mica particles are laying flat, and then I rolled it up. And this one I rolled through the machine numerous times and it's just flat, but you know it's good to go when it's all one even color. It's all nice and pearl. It's one even color. See here, that's not an even color, and here is not an even color. Okay, so again, this is all rolled out number 5 and rolled up nice and tightly. So now we are just going to take off our ends. Again, I've done other tutorials on this, but this is this combination is an experiment. I think maybe you can see here the spiral going on. Can you see the difference in color, the spiral? Right, okay, put that there. Now, the trick to this is cutting off the sides and exposing the mica shift. Sorry, I need to change my light a little bit so I can see. Okay. Now, can you see? See how the color shifts? That's because all the mica particles are all going in a spiral. And now cutting off the edges of the cylinder, we're exposing the mica shift. Okay. So we cut off all 4 sides. And if you're not new to my channel, you know what I'm doing. Voila. Okay, so now here, again, you can really see the shift, huh? Okay, now we're going to twist this around. Sorry, there goes my dog playing. A little bit more. Okay. Now I'm going to start rolling it out. And you can do, with this, I'm going to do a snail, but you can do straight lines like this and just lay it flat and slice it, or you can do O's. I've done those before, but for this one I'm just going to do snails. Actually, what I'm going to do is cut this into 2 and do 2 small snails so they're quite concentrated. Because I'm going to put this on the backing, and then I'm going to put it through the pasta machine, and I don't want it to be too big and distort. I want the shift evident, or this design shift evident. Okay, I'm going to cut this in half. Now I'm going to make my snail, so I'm going to roll, putting pressure in one direction. Then I'm going to flatten it a little bit, and then very gently. Now this clay is a little dry. I don't know. I sometimes have such a hard time with Cernit. For me, Cernit gives the best mica shift, but it just, for me, it just gets so hard to work with. It gets dry, and I don't understand it. But it doesn't. And my Cernit Translucent is extremely soft. Anyway, I don't know. It's finicky, but I mean the end result is brilliant. But it is hard to work with sometimes. Okay, so there's one snail. I'll let that rest a little bit, and now I'm gonna do another one. Flatten this a little bit, curl it in. Again, I'm taking my time. I don't want this to crack open. There we go. Okay, and now I'm gonna put you on pause, and I'm going to put this through the pasta machine. So I'll roll out a backing. Okay, I have my backing rolled out on a number 3. Here's just a good example of what you don't want for this mica for preparing the clay for the mica shift. You see here the different color. See the difference in color? That's not the mica particles are not aligned. So you really want it to be just like this. Okay, so this is on a number 3 because I want to allow some thickness for multiple layers of these. All right, so my pendant I'm gonna make out of this shape. So I'm going to make a little indentation, and I'm gonna cut off my excess. So it's just easier to work with. Sorry, that's my dog Maddie getting comfortable on my pillow. She likes to make the appearances lately. Okay. Now, slice. Take a thin slice. Like that. I can't see. Like this, flop her down. Can you see that? Hold on, I'll bring it up to you. See the difference? This is the flat mica particles, and this is the shift. So you can see the difference in the color. Okay. We can get another slice out of this. Oh, this is my flexible blade. Okay. I think I can get one more slice. No, I'm not going to. As you get closer to the middle, you lose the spiral effect. So I pick this up now. Go here. Yep, that's the right one. do another slice. That's that done. I hope this works out. I'm gonna keep that for a top bit, so I'll put this aside for a second. It's a bit thick, but it's okay. Flip her over. That too is a cute one. Another good one. Okay, so I'm going to gently roll this in all directions because they are going to distort, and I want them to distort evenly, not just in one direction. I want them to distort round. Okay, I'm going to save my two top ones here because they're quite thin and they're just very good pieces.
At 29 and I find myself wondering what did happen to the last 10. I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set them rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. I sit here looking for an answer. Maybe the biggest question was in the last chapter. You gave me the soul I have today. Without you I never could have moved away. But now I see what you teach. I do believe I always should have stayed. Yeah. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. One day I'll be One day I'll be yours. One day I'll be yours. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The The other 11 give something from nothing. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. Life changes just open the door. One thing's certain, I'll always be yours.
I'm going to take these previous two that I was going to save and use these because these are actually a little bit bigger than these ones. So I'm going to use these ones for the top section. Put these on. Now I'm going to give it a roll. Again, I don't want these to distort too much when I put them through the pasta machine. So I'm going to do them in layers. Actually, I'm going to go and put this through on a number 0 and then maybe a number 1 and see how we're getting on with this before I put these ones on top. Okay, again, another roll. I'm debating whether I want to put this through the pasta machine or maybe just burnish it. I think I'm going to burnish it as best as I can now, and then I'm going to put it through the pasta machine. I'm putting quite a lot of pressure on here. Again, I'm changing directions because I want the distortion to be equal. All right, lift this up. Okay, a bit more on this side. All right, I'm going to go through now. Again, do it on a 0 and then do it on a 1. I think I'll stop there. And then I will put my topper, which is on a number 5 as well. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so that's on a number 1. I put it through a 0 this way and then a number 1 that way. Right, now I'm going to take, actually, hold on. I can't see and I do not want to put my head in front of the camera. Okay, I think I'm going to go here. Okay, so here is our base. Now we put our, I'm gonna go roll this again. Give me a second. Okay, so this is rolled out on a number 5 again. So I'm gonna place this here, place this on top. Give it a little burnish. I'm going to cut it out. I can find it. See what I mean by so crumbly? I don't understand why. I don't know if it's only me or not. Okay, so I'm going to use this stamp. This came from a set I got off of Temu. It was not expensive at all. But I got these because they're the perfect size for my pendant sizes. Okay, give us a little wipe. And we stick her on. Again, always from the middle out. You don't want any air in there. And as always, I want this in quite deep. And as you can see, I'm holding on to one side of the stamp because I don't want that moving and distorting my imprint. And normally I like to go pretty flush, or as flush as possible. And you know you've done well when you can see the clay coming straight through. The color's coming through without any air in it. All right. So we take this off. Flexible blade. Give it a clean. And now, Keilan, take your time, because I always seem to rush when I'm on camera, and I don't want to rush. I don't want to ruin this, because it's going to be a lot of work to do it again. Okay, and very gently. Now, I'm using my pinkies as a guide. So, get to slicing. And I'm trying to save my separate colors if possible. Now, I'm probably going to do a lot of this off camera, but you will start to see now. Oh, don't go too deep, Keilan. You'll be able to see now the rust, the rust coming through. Here we go. And now I'm going to be very careful with my, oops, I don't want that there. I want to mix it. With my shaving, I'm going to shave just slightly shy of where I want it, because some of it does come off, or a lot of it does. Because this is so thin, some of the pink will come off when I'm sanding it, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to allow a little bit of room for sanding, because I will lose some of the design if I bring it down too low. Oh, don't tell me I went too low. I did, I went too low. Well, I'm going to go ahead anyway. I'm not doing it again. See, I wasn't concentrating. I was too busy talking. Again, this is a little bit different than my last tutorial on mica shift with the green that I made. The 1/4 Peacock pearl with the 1/4 bright green pearl, because it's just one color. There was no double mica shift involved. So I'm going to take my time with this off camera, and I'll come back and we'll take it from there. Okay, so I shall see you in a bit. Okay, I finished shaving to my liking. Again, I left it a little bit thick. I'm so sad that I went down a bit deep there. It's because I always rush on camera. I don't know why. I think I have to rush on camera. Anyway, that is that for there. Now, I took the 2 middle pieces of the small snails, and I just put it through the pasta machine, so you can see the back's going to be kind of cool as well. So this was rolled out on a number 5. Number 5. Yeah, there. We don't want any air in there. All right, need another piece of paper. Let me give this a good burnish again. Where did my steel soap go? Here it is. Okay, see how we're getting on here. See? Okay. I'm going for it. It's a bit hard. So that is a mix of colors can go there. Okay. There's our back. And our front. Right, I think I'm going to hang, I don't know if I'm going to put a hole in this or not. Probably not. So I think I'm probably going to want it to sit like this. So I'm going to put my stamp about there. Gosh, my gloves are getting loose. Okay. So I take my stamp. This is actually a very heavy solid steel die that I had made when I was doing my macrame pieces to stamp my logo on metal tags. It's not ideal for what I'm using it as, but it's all I have. And I paid good money to get it made. I got it on Etsy. If you would like to know, if you would like the link, let me know. It's a woman in Lithuania. Okay, so now I find there. There we go. All right, I'm not going to put any mica powder in this. I'm just going to smooth out the edge. It turned out quite nice, actually. Okay, put that away. Now, on to the dome. So as usual, I'm going to put it on this dome. I'll clean all this up when I sand, because I'm going to sand buff and polish this. So I just need to find the center here, and the center I think is here. Okay, and then very gently form it around. Why do I always go off center? That looks good. I need to get a new thing. The dome's a bit sharp. Sometimes I'd like it was just a little bit wider. Okay, a bigger ball if you would, or a bigger half ball. So you can already see here, see the mica shift snails? And then you're gonna have this as well. So it'll be interesting. Now, like I said, this was an experiment, so we'll see how it goes. All right, so I have my baby wipe and my alcohol. And get this a real good smooth. I do this a bit too much, actually, and it does take some of the clay off because the alcohol does melt the clay. But I find it really saves on sanding. In fact, when I go to sand this, I'm going to go in with just maybe lightly with the 400. Skip the 320, go with the 400 up to the 3000. And I'm going to do it quite gently because, again, this pink is quite thin. All right, let me clean up the edges. Again, I usually spend quite a lot of time doing this, the cleanup, but I want to get this in the oven before it's too late. Because I would like to get it baked and sand and buff, because I like to do my sanding relaxed in front of my computer. Right? If you wonder why I always say Netflix, it's because I don't watch TV. It's because my French is not great, and I watch well, basically English programs or American programs, Canadian programs, you know. So I just watch Netflix, or I download on my computer. My computer is my life. So I just sit here at night and with a glass of wine and just sand away. Okay, I think this is good. You can see it's already taken off some of the pink, so I don't even think I'm going to sand it all this much. Sand it isn't, maybe even just start at the 600 and do it gently, just for the shine, because like I said, I really want this to be a double mica shift, and I need this pink to be there for it to be a double mica if this experiment is going to work. Right. Okay. Well, fingers crossed for me, please. I'm gonna put this in the oven, and then I will come back tomorrow, sanded and buffed and polished, hopefully with something good to show you. All right. Okay. A demand. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, after 2 nights of sanding, I'm back. So here's one I made on camera. This is with the Cernit Rust and the Cernit Pink Gold. I love the way the back turned out, and I actually love I love this color combination. I love the pink. There is mica shift in this one, the double mica shift in the pink, but not as much because I sanded so much off. Again, I went quite deep here, but you know, that was my fault. But I will do it. I really no, I like this. I'll do it again. Okay, so that, and here's the back. So just a slight little detail in the back. Go away, fly. Okay, we have that one. Then I did another one the next day. And this one here is the green I made last week. This is 1/4 peacock pearl, 1/4 bright green pearl, half translucent. That's the base. And then for the topper is just bright green pearl mixed with half translucent. Again, I really like this color combination as well. And you can see, if you watch my last video with this color, you can see this, in this time, the peacock pearl really comes through. And again, it's the exact same color because I made quite a lot of it. So, you know, it's the exact same mix. Anyway, and you'll also notice as well that because this is Sculpey, and Sculpey's a pearl. And the shift in the back is very soft. It's quite a soft shift compared to the metallic in the Cernit. It's quite a crisp, much deeper mica shift, I think. Okay. This I think I'm going to make into a pendant, and this one I think I'm going to make into a pin. I'll put a brooch, a pin. I'll put somehow I'm going to put a bit of clay to heighten it a little bit. Anyway, so that will be a pin, I think. Then I went ahead and I made this one. Now this one's my favorite. This one is Cernit turquoise gold and Cernit green gold. Again, the back is very crisp mica shift, a lot of depth. And same with the lines here. Now for this, I left quite a lot unshaven. So I allowed for sanding to take off quite a lot of the green, and it is almost perfect. But I would next time add just a little bit more translucent to this. This one is sanded, but it is not polished. It's just lightly buffed. It's not polished because there is a little bubble. There's a hole. So I have to, what I'm going to do is put a little bit of Cernit translucent liquid clay in there, just to my heat gun cure that. And then I'll just resand this portion here, and then I'll give it a proper buff and a polish. Anyway, and then here's the back. I think I'm going to leave this undone, actually. I quite like the mateness of it, the mateness of the shift. You know, there's a big difference, actually, between polished and unpolished. Anyway, so that's this one. This one, I made another, I just took a couple of little squares. These are also domed. I'm going to make this into a necklace. And I'm going to try to incorporate these with some wire work somehow. So that is that one. Again, you can have a look up. I'll be posting it on my Facebook and Instagram, and also, of course, in my community. So you can see it in my community page as well here on YouTube. So there we go. My little experiment. I think it worked. I'm quite pleased. There's a little bit of tweaking to do. But I'm quite happy. I think it was successful. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed this. I did. I hope you enjoyed it. And most importantly, thank you for being here. Okay. I will see you in the next one. Bye.